If I told you the most loyal, supportive, and reliable friend you'll ever have has been with you since the day you were born, would you believe me? Hello, everyone. I'm John, and welcome back to In John's Universe. I'm glad you're here today. Today's message was inspired by a wonderful YouTuber. Her name is Lori from Lori's Soul Circle. Lori has this calming, soul centered way of explaining the inner journey we all go through. Something she said recently really stayed with me. She said, "Why? I've never felt lonely since discovering my most important friendship." I'll put a link to Lori's video. It's called Feeling Lonely in Midlife. Here's the friend you've been overlooking. The thumbnail is Have You Met You? And I'll put it into the description down below so you can get Lori's video. And I think you'll get a lot from listening to Lori. But that got me thinking. Over the years, I've learned that your best and most reliable friend isn't someone out there. It's the person you look at in the mirror every single day. So today I want to take a deeper dive into what that actually means, why it matters at every age, and especially why it's essential as we move into the later chapters of our life. So settle in, relax, and let's talk. Let's start with the simple truth. People come and go. Seasons of life shift. Circumstances change. Friends drop out of sight. They move. You move. Uh, they get married or you get married, and either one of your spouses don't like your friends. So you kind of drift away from them. You lose mutual friends when they get divorced. That happened to me a couple of times. Friends that we had when we were married, as soon as we got divorced, they don't want any part of me. They want to, show allegiance to my ex-wife. So, yeah, that happens, but that's part of life. And, friends die. Over the time, you don't share the same interests, so you kind of drift apart. Now, think about your own life for a moment. You've been there when things were really tough. You've been there when a dream fell apart, when you had to start again. You've been there when you felt proud of something you've accomplished. And you've been there in every quiet moment, every worry, every joy, every decision. You have literally walked through every moment of your life with yourself. Now, that's companionship, that's loyalty, that's commitment. And just like Lori talks about on her channel, when you strengthen that inner companion, your whole world changes. Now, here's the twist. Even though we are always with ourselves, most people don't treat themselves like a friend. Some treat themselves like a critic. Some treat themselves like an enemy. Some treat themselves like someone who's never good enough. And that leads to self doubt, overthinking, anxiety, loneliness, and the feeling that you're not measuring up. So let me ask you something and be honest with yourself. If you spoke to a friend the way you speak to yourself sometimes, would they stick around? Probably not. But here's the good news. It's never too late to build a healthier, stronger, more loving relationship with yourself. Whether you're 18, 48, or you're in your 70s or 80s, this is a relationship you can always grow. Healing starts the moment you decide you deserve peace. And yes, you absolutely do. Here are some ways to strengthen that inner friendship. Practical, simple, but powerful. Talk to yourself the way a good friend would. We all have that inner voice, that narrator running in the background. Sometimes it's encouraging, sometimes it's harsh. But a good friend doesn't tear you down. A good friend would say something like this: "You've got this. You're doing better than you think. It's okay to start over, one step at a time." Try to bring that voice out more often. You deserve to hear encouragement from the one person who knows you better than anyone, you. Keep promises you make to yourself. This one is big. Every time you tell yourself you're going to do something and then you follow through, you build trust with yourself. It might be taking a walk, drinking more water, organizing something you've put off, trying something new. slowing down your day, working on your health, or simply giving yourself time to rest. And when you keep promises to yourself, you begin to feel reliable, even to your own spirit. And that reliability, that's friendship. Protect your peace. A best friend would never willingly drag you into stress, drama, chaos, or negativity. So be that kind of friend to yourself. Protect your mental peace, your emotional peace, your spiritual peace, and your physical peace. Say no when you need to. Take breaks when your soul feels tired. Walk away from conversations that drain you and disconnect from negativity. You don't owe anyone a piece of yourself that cost you your well being. And always surround yourself with positive people because that'll make you soar with eagles. Surround yourself with negative people. You're going to be negative and you're going to be like a bunch of turkeys. You're just going to not thrive. Spend time with yourself and enjoy it. Some of the most peaceful moments in life happen when you're simply alone with thoughts or enjoying something quiet and simple. Like myself, a cup of coffee in the morning when I go out for breakfast. I'll sit there with my Kindle, I'll turn off my hearing aids, and I shut off the outside world. Unless somebody's coming to talk to me, then I'll turn the hearing aids back on. Sitting on your porch, listening to music like I do, a slow walk. Well, in my case, it's a slow amble with my rollator, but I try my best. Organizing your space. I'm always reorganizing things in my apartment. It's to make it more convenient, to make it where I know things are. I like the feeling that things are organized and they look better, and I take pride in the things that I own. So organize your space. Driving with the radio on. Sometimes it's a distraction if you listen to some of the negative news, but I listen to usually the oldies on Sirius FM. I've talked about this before, and I'm bopping and hopping along as we go along, tapping on the steering wheel and doing my thing. Or when I'm by myself, writing things down in a journal, when I feel like doing it, or just breathing and being still. When you enjoy your own company, loneliness fades. You begin to realize you're not alone, you're with yourself. And that's a good thing. How this changes as we get older. Now, let's talk about why this topic becomes even more meaningful as we age. In our 60s, 70s, and beyond, we gain something younger adults haven't lived long enough to understand. We gain life experience, perspective, wisdom, and resilience. We've lived through decades of challenges too, joys, losses, lessons, and moments that have shaped us. At this stage of life, we also start creating new routines, sometimes with fewer people around than in our younger days. But this is where the inner friendship becomes powerful, comforting, and grounding. You'll start to recognize I've survived my hardest days. I've rebuilt my life more than once. I've learned to show up for myself even when the others couldn't. I've made it this far, and that says something. How being kind to others strengthens friendship within. Now, before we move deeper, I want to talk about something important, something that often gets overlooked when we talk about self connection. And that's how we treat others as we go about our typical day. And this doesn't mean depending on others for happiness. It means understanding that sharing kindness strengthens the kindness you feel towards yourself. One thing Lori from Lori's Soul Circle mentions often is the energy you give out, even in small amounts, has a way of coming back to you. And she's right. Let me tell you something about what I've learned in life. Kindness is a reflection of the friendship you have with yourself. If you're at the grocery store, the post office, your favorite breakfast spot, or just walking down the street, a simple smile, a friendly good morning, or a quick compliment can brighten someone's day more than you realize. Now, I always do that. Every time I walk into Chick-fil-A, I'll talk to the cashier and I'll wave to the people that are not at the cash register that are working towards the side or working to the back. They all know me. I know their names. How was your holiday? Did you have a good Thanksgiving? Did you enjoy your vacation? Oh, I like your outfit. It looks nice. Uh, hey, you got your hair highlighted. It looks good on you. Those kind of things. And that makes it important to me. I get a chance to interact with people like that. But here's the interesting part about it. Every time you share kindness, you reinforce your own value. Now you're telling yourself, I bring something good into this world. My presence matters. I can make someone else feel seen or appreciated. I don't know about you, but this fills my heart with the quiet kind of pride, the good kind, adding new friends along the way. As we get older, making new friends can feel harder, but it doesn't have to be. Friendships don't always start with big conversations. They often begin with tiny moments. The person who always sits near you at breakfast and finally says hello. The cashier who remembers your order. The neighbor who waves every morning. The person at the gym. I don't go to the gym anymore, but the grocery store or my card shop who comments on the weather. Every morning, when I go to for breakfast, there's a number of people there that I know, and I mentioned that before. But there's one guy in particular, and I see him wearing a Notre Dame hat, like I have on right now, and a Notre Dame sweatshirt, and we talk Notre Dame football for a bit. He'll sit a couple of booths away, we'll start talking back and forth, but I've built this connection with him. His name is Kevin, and every morning when I see him, he says, "Hey, John," and "Hey, Kevin, how you doing today? Hey, the Fighting Irish looked good last night," or so forth and so on. But these small connections can blossom into real friendships, or even if they don't, they still add warmth to your everyday life. But here's something wonderful. When you start being a friend to yourself, you naturally attract healthier, more positive friendships with others. People can feel it. They notice your calmness, your confidence, your kindness, and they're drawn to it. A kind word can change someone's whole day. You'll never know what people are carrying. Some folks are lonely, some are grieving, some are worried, some haven't heard a kind word in days. Now, as I mentioned before, I give compliments out or I talk to everybody I see, but a simple, genuine compliment might be precisely what they need. You could always say, I like your smile. The color looks great on you. Your energy is really positive. Hope you're having a good morning. It doesn't cost you anything to say that, but it can mean everything to them. And again, when you lift someone else, your own spirit rises too. That's the magic of kindness. Kindness strengthens your inner friend. This part is essential. When you offer kindness to others, you are also practicing empathy, patience, compassion, understanding. These are the same qualities that you need to offer yourself. So even though this video is about being your own best friend, remember, part of being your own best friend is being someone you and others are proud to know. Kindness isn't just something you give outwardly, it's something that echoes inward. If you're feeling alone right now, if you're watching this video and you feel alone lately, or unheard, or unnoticed, let me speak directly to you. You're stronger than you think, you're wiser than you know, and you're absolutely worth taking care of. Put your hand on your chest for a moment. Feel that heartbeat. That's your lifelong companion, your oldest friend, your most reliable supporter. You've gotten through every single day of your life with that heart keeping you going. You're not alone. You have you, and that's enough. So let's take a moment to bring it all together. Being your own best friend isn't about shutting other people out. It's about building a strong foundation within yourself so that every other relationship becomes healthier. When you trust yourself, you make better decisions. When you respect yourself, you stop settling for less. When you care for yourself, your life becomes more meaningful. And when you love yourself, everything around you feels differently. And I want to thank Lori again from Lori's Soul Circle for inspiring this message. Her channel is a beautiful space filled with soul searching thoughts and gentle reminders that speak into the heart. Plus, Lori is very easy to listen to. She's got a very calming voice, and I think you'll like her. Check her out if you enjoy uplifting, reflective content. She brings a rare, special, calm energy. So let me wrap it up, and here's some closing thoughts for today. Today and every day, remember this: you are your best and most reliable friend. Not because you're perfect, at least I'm not perfect, uh, not because you have all the answers. You've shown up for yourself again and again, even when life was hard. Thank you for spending time with me today in John's Universe. If this message brought you peace or clarity, give it a like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need a reminder today. And leave comments. I've said that numerous times. And until next time, take care of yourself because your best friend is counting on you. I'm taking care of me. Bye.